Hi, it's Tanya with Red Cardinal Crafts, and I'm finally getting around to my bookmark tutorial. And this particular bookmark came from this book here, the Bobbin Lace Manual by Geraldine Stott. And I'll show you what the pattern looks like in the book. This is it here, and that's the name of it. I cannot pronounce it, so there you go. This is the pattern here. And that's what the finished look is like in there. She does braid her tails. I don't do that. But this is what a bobbin lace pattern looks like, at least in her book anyway. And that's it. That's just kind of all it shows, and then it's on to the next pattern. So it's a little tricky to learn with a book if you don't really know what you're doing. So I'm doing this as a beginner lesson. If you've seen my other videos, you've seen that I talk about my supplies. This is my pillow, and I have my bobbins that I bought from Snow Goose. I do have some that my lace teacher gave me of hers, which was wonderful. So here's the pattern here, and on the back of mine I just wrote the book that the pattern was in. I have that you use 14 pairs of bobbins. In the number ones coming along here, you use 10 pairs of the regular bobbins. In the number 2, which are at the top, I just put that you do the 4 pairs of special bobbins, which the ones I'm using are the ones from my bobbin teacher. You just need 4 pairs that just are a little bit distinguishable from the other bobbins that you have. If you just have all bobbins that are similar, just, I don't know, put a little mark with a marker or something on them. I used about 2.5 yards of this. This is just the DMC. It's the Pearl Cotton number 8, and this is color 445, and it's 10 grams. I got, you can get about 2 bookmarks. You can get 2 bookmarks out of this. I use about almost 2.5 yards of thread to do this. It's better to have extra left over than not enough. And we're going to be doing half stitch, spiders, and rose ground. So I just wrote that on the back of this one. So I'm just going to pin this to my pillow so we can get started. And to film this, I'm trying to figure out if I should zoom in to what the threads are doing or zoom out. So I think what I'm going to try to do is just keep my bobbins fairly short so that you can see what the threads are doing and be close enough to see that, and then and also see what the bobbins are doing as I'm moving them. So I think that's how I'm going to do this. Alright, and then I just have some, this is just unbleached cotton, and I just pin this over my pattern, and I just use these long pins to pin it into my pillow. They're just corsage pins, and I also use those to move my bobbins out of the way if I'm trying to keep them off to the side while I'm working. So yeah, this is just unbleached cotton, and I just dyed it in a blue color. Blues and greens are kind of the traditional colors to use with bobbin lace. I've been doing bobbin lace now for about 4 years. I have a lace teacher that I discovered out at the craft market here in Bermuda. Her name is Gail. She's been absolutely wonderful. There are different ways to twist the bobbins. Some people hold them up in their hands. And there we go. So yeah, I mean, this is the way I've learned how to do it. Maybe you have a different method. I've also had people comment on my channel that I talk too much. I assume those are actual people that know how to do bobbin lace and they don't need the extra chatter, but I've also had people say that I go at a good speed and I explain it well, so hopefully you'll have that same experience here. So there, got my pillow ready. I've got my little pin cushion. Just jab that down in there. Alright, so you're going to start off with these holes here. Now this is what I was saying. I don't know whether to zoom in or stay out, so I think I'll try to get it as best I can, and hopefully the pillow won't move, and I'm going to try to keep remembering to look up at the camera every once in a while and check to see that I'm still in the shot. Actually, this is a little close. Alright, so you're going to start off and put pins in these little circles along the top. And this is just where you're starting from. This is where you're going to hang your bobbins from, and those are eventually going to come out once we do the first few stitches. So this is just kind of to hold your pins. I'm working with a new pattern. I had to redo this one. I had to reprint it out because mine was getting pretty tattered. You can do it for quite a few bookmarks, then after a while the holes get a little bit stretched with your needles and stuff. If you hear weird squeaking and things, I've got guinea pigs next to my desk and I have the back window open, so you're going to hear birds chirping. Alright, so what we're going to do is wind your bobbins, and I show that in another video, how to wind your bobbins. So you're just going to place them over the pins and just twist them once, just so you know you've got them twisted. And like I said, I'm going to try to keep these fairly short so you can see what I'm doing. I can zoom out a little bit. Alright, so just hang your, I'm calling them your regular bobbins, just hang those over any of the holes that say, it's a number 1, that's Geraldine's writing there from the pattern book. And people have asked me how many bobbins you should buy. I bought the set of, oh gosh, I think there's 20 pairs of bobbins in the set that I bought at Snow Goose. And is the kit worth it? Is another question I've been asked. I found that the thread that they sent you was way too thick. I didn't like that at all. It was like rope. You can see me struggling with it in one of my other videos. The little pin pricker thing that you get, that was good. The pillow's great. I bought a 20-inch. I believe my teacher uses I think hers is a 16-inch. I like the 20. I like the size of it, especially where I work, the table I work at. I usually kind of have it leaning on the table and then into my lap when I work at the craft market. And so the size of the pillow is great in that way. There's also a company, it was called, I believe it's called Rose Ground. Oh, I put the wrong set of bobbins. Ignore what I just did there. Talking and doing stuff at the same time. I believe it's called Rose Ground, and they sell an actual bag to fit your pillow. I ordered one, however, they were out of stock, so I never did receive one. They were out of the size that I was looking for, but you can check them out. It looked like a really neat bag. I just unfortunately never got one. But there we go. Okay, so now these are all my regular bobbins, and then these are my special ones. Now these are gonna run down the whole side of the bookmark, but they start off in the middle. Now I have distinct ones. I have this dark pair, and then I have a set of blue. And then for this side, I have a gold pair and a set of blue. And it's just to keep them, just to kind of stand out a little bit from the other bobbins. And like I said, if you don't have bobbins that look different from each other, just put a little mark on them or something. Alright, so we have our bobbins all set up, and we're just going to get ready to start this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start with these 4 pairs. We're going to link them together, and we're going to work all the way down this side and bring the bobbins in down both sides, and we're going to have these make their way to the outside. So The way I'm going to start this is we've got them all twisted, so I'm just going to go across the pillow with these ones here. So I just did a whole stitch, and what I'm doing is I'm moving the bobbins that were on the left hand side over to the right, like that, just so we have it crossed a little bit. I've tried to cross it in a simpler way before and they've all let go. So we're just gonna do this. And what I'm going to do is pull out these holding pins that are at the top, the pins that are in those number 2 spots, and just make sure that they're kind of locked in place. Now there's a little blob at the top I'm trying to get rid of by pulling. Alright, and you know it's worked at this point, because if not, these bobbins would just totally pull out. So it's locked itself. Now I'm going to go back, but I'm just going to go simply like this, grabbing them as groups and moving them like that, just to simplify the start of it. Alright, just snug it up nice and tight. Okay, so now we're going to move these over to the side and just leave them there, and that's why I use the corsage pins. It just keeps them out of the way. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this first pair of bobbins, just make sure they have a little twist at the top, and we're going to do a half stitch. Now what we're going to do is use this as a pair of bobbins and use these as a pair of bobbins, and we're just going to pretend it's just one pair of bobbins, okay? So we're just going to do a half stitch. So you take this one over and then these two over like this, and we're going to pin, and you're going to pin at this first one coming down right like that, and then we're going to go back like this and cover our pin. So we're doing this right because this one's coming over this way and these ones are starting to work over to the side. Now we're going to bring down another pair. Again, pretend this is one pair of bobbins. And you'll see me do this every once in a while and just adjust my bobbins. Sometimes when they're not the same length, it kind of drives me crazy. So that's just me being fiddly. Okay, so we're going to take this one, put it in the middle, take these two over. That's our half stitch. We're going to pin, so we're coming down that first row of dots, and then we're going to move this over and move this over. Okay, and bring the next set down. Again, over, over. It's our half stitch. And then over and over. Now our next one. Oh, did I go too far? I did. Sorry. I took a glance out the window. My kids are out there. Sorry. Okay, this. Oh no, that was right. And then this and this. Okay, now they're over, and now one more. They just realized I was on camera. Okay, over and over. We're going to pin, and the pin is actually at the top of the zigzag there. And then over and over. So we did it. So we've brought those all the way down the side. Now here's the real test. We're going to start taking the pins out of the ones that have the circle under the numbers there. Now go back to your first set of bobbins and pull those. And the next set, pull them, and you're just getting rid of that extra little knot that's at the top. And there we go. So we've got this side figured out, and we managed to get these bobbins over to the side, which is our goal. So now just give each of those a twist as you're bringing them over, just so they have a twist to them. Some of them might already have a twist. Alright, now we're going to do the same with this side. We're going to come down the side. So we take this first pair, and again, treat this as one set of bobbins. Do a half stitch, pin, and then finish it like that. Then the next pair come out. Sorry, swivel my chair over. And over. And then pin. And pin. Oh no, sorry. Where'd I go? This one and then this way. I find it easier, some people find it easier to go down a certain side. I find it easier to work on the left. Alright, now we've got another thing. So we're going to go over, and then pin, and then over, and we're done. And one moment, please. Alright. Sorry, my girls are playing frisbee out there. Okay, now I take this other set and we go over and over, pin, and then over and over. Good, now we got one more set, and we're gonna go, oh no. I'm confused. Over and over. Pin. So over and over. Alright, so we're good. And now again we're just going to take out those pins. Remember, it's just the outside pins. And these are the only pins you're going to take out at this point. Okay, so everything is anchored in. So we're going to push everything over this way, that half of the bobbins. Alright. Okay, now we're going to start with this top pair and bring in the top ones from over on that side. Just move everything over a little bit. Okay, so we're going to do half stitch, so just like we were doing, but now we're working with two sets of bobbins, so just over and over, pin that first little dot at the top there, and then cover your pin like that. Okay, we're just going to move that. Bring in another set, so we're going to work diagonally. We're going to come down these holes here, then we're going to come down the next set, and so on and so on. So I'm just going to try to zoom in a little bit. Okay. Alright, so now we're doing this next one. Over, and those two over that way. Pin in that next dot that's coming down. Over, over. Bring in another set. Just make sure they have a little twist to them. Over and over. Okay, and the last one on this side. There. So we've done that side. So now we're just going to flip this guy over the side. We're done with him for now. And we'll go into the zigzag afterwards. We're just going to get this whole diamond part done first. So we're just going to move these guys over. Okay, now we've got the next ones, and we're going to do this row coming down. So again, half stitch. This guy's twisted an extra time. Okay, we just needed one twist to them. So that way and over, pin, and then always cover your pins like that. Bring in another pair. Cover your pin. And that's the Frisbee hitting the window. And then this one here. And just make sure, don't leave them like this. Make sure you cross them. And then pin that last one. Like that. And we're done with this guy. Now there is a row of dots coming down here, but that's all part of the zigzag, so don't go into those ones yet. And we're just sliding these back over. So you're sliding 3 pairs over, and then you're going to do these ones here. And when you put your pins in, sort of angle them towards the back a little bit. Like just kind of put them in like at a bit of an angle, so that when you're working, your threads don't end up falling forward and falling off the pins. Okay, we're done with him. And slide 3 more pairs over to the left, and then you're going to grab the last ones. Make sure they have a little twist to them. You can lengthen them just by pulling on them a little bit. And now the last one. Good, done. So we've done that little diamond pattern. Let's just zoom in a little bit. Admire our work. Alright, so now we're going to start with the zigzag on the left side here. So I'm just going to use an extra little pin those out of the way. Bring these guys over. And I just put a pin here to separate these ones. We're not going to be touching these ones, but we're going to want anything from this bottom of the diamond. See at the bottom of the diamond there's 2 pairs coming off it? We want the pairs that are over to the left. So you're going to move over 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of bobbins. Then you're going to work with this next set. This set here on the left, next to your different bobbins, those 3 pretty much stay the same, or pretty much stay together in this pattern. But these actual bobbins will probably change as we're working, because we're doing half stitch and stuff. But these 2 will always stay to the left of the pattern. And what it does, I'll show you on here, is they make this border that's coming all the way down the side, like that. And you can see that there's, let's see here, you can see that there's 2 lines that come down and they have a gap in between them. That's going to be this inside pair of the special ones. And what we do with that is we never twist it. You never twist those over themselves. They just stay as 2 straight threads coming all the way down. But I'll show you that as we're working. Okay, so we're going to start with the zigzag. We already have this first hole done at the top there, so we're coming over to the right. Okay, so we're going to take this pair here and this pair here. We're just going to do a half stitch. Actually, before I show you that, let me just zoom in to show you what these bobbins are going to do. So the bobbins coming off of this needle here are coming to this hole. The next set's going to go to that hole. The next set is going to that hole, and then the final set will go to this little hole right there. Okay, so that's where we're going to be bringing them over to. Alright, so we're just going to do a half stitch and pin, and then half stitch again. Then we're going to move him over. We're going to go through these ones. Remember, don't twist this inside pair. So we're just going to do whole stitch actually with this one. So you basically go over top of each other. So half stitch, you're just doing, it's going like this and it's going like this, and you're leaving the bobbins separated, and then you come back and they get together again. Actually they stay separate. This one we want to keep these bobbins together, so you've got to kind of run it through and run it back. So it's going to go this way, and this way. So you've just flipped them over top of each other. And we didn't twist this one. Now we are going to twist this one. We are going to twist this one, and then we do a whole stitch with that, twist them both. Then we're going to pin on this outside zigzag, like that. Whole stitch again, twist. Just kind of pull on each of them, but don't lift up because it'll slip off your pin. Just snug it up to the pin a little bit. Then we come back. This one is twisted. This one, keep it, don't twist it at all. And we're doing a whole stitch, and it's back, and we can twist this one again. So just never twist this inside set. Okay, and then we're going to go through this one that we just went through. We're going to bring in a new pair, make sure it has one little twist to it. Do a whole stitch, or sorry, half stitch. And we're going to pin in the next part of the zigzag. Half stitch again. We're going back, half stitch. This pair, don't twist them. Leave this one twisted and do a whole stitch. Just twist this one. Bring these ones in, whole stitch, twist them both. Pin. Give a little tug on those just to straighten out all your threads. Whole stitch, twist them both, snug it up to your pin, go through these ones, whole stitch, just twist that pair, come back through this pair, and now we're bringing in another set. So do a half stitch, we're going to pin, and it's going to look a little wonky up there for now until we get, you know, really going with this, until you kind of get your zigzag done. So there's our half, whole stitch, just twist that one, whole stitch, twist them both, pin, give everything a little tug. Don't pull too hard. If you snap your thread, you're sunk and everything you've done is ruined. Remember, don't twist this set. Whole stitch, twist this one, go back over. Now we're bringing in the final pair of bobbins. So we're going to do half stitch, we're going to pin, cover your pin. Now the zigzag at this point, now that we've done that one, is going to start heading back this direction. So this is the last time we're going to use this pair of bobbins for now. So pin him out of the way because you don't want to end up using him because you'll get completely mixed up. So now that we're going back in the zigzag and heading down this way, you're going to throw out a pair of bobbins as you go. Okay, so we've thrown him out. We're going to work our way back over. Now we're doing the whole stitch. Just twist that one. Whole stitch. Twist them both and pin. This is when I always give everything a little tug. Whole stitch, twist them both, pull it up to the pin, whole stitch, just twist this one, work our way back over, pin, and see now that that guy's out of there, you knew to stop with this last set, because if not you would have kept going. So half stitch, you've covered your pin, now knock him out of the way. Okay, now we're just going to work our way back over. Remember, don't twist this one, we're doing a whole stitch. Do both of these. Whole stitch, everything a little tug, whole stitch, twist both of them, whole stitch, just twist this one, half, half, pin, and move this guy out of the way. And then work your way back. Oh. These are tricky bobbins to work with because they're heavy. They're heavier, the beads on them are heavier. Twist, pin, and go back through this last pair, pin. You should be almost at the bottom of your zigzag. We're going to pin that, move him to the side, and then we're going to go back through these guys one more time. Just twist that guy, whole stitch, twist them both. And then through this guy. Alright, so we've done our zigzag. So let me just zoom in, and you can see that that one that we have on the inside, it's left a gap coming through here with those two lines coming down. That's exactly what you want. That's a little half stitch going through all there, so it leaves a nice little open look to it. Okay, so we're going to move everything over to this side, and so I tend to pin, let me just show you what I do there. I tend to pin these three kind of off to the side a little bit. Sorry, I always pin lower down so you can't really see what I'm doing right there. Okay, so I just kind of pin those back like that. We're gonna slide everything over. Don't just grab them and clump them over, you'll get your threads all twisted. Alright, so we're going to move these guys over and pin those back. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pinned back plus those other 3. And then this is going to be the bottom of our zigzag bobbin. So that's coming over this one, this one, and this one. Okay, so we're just going to move those guys out of the way. Alright, so now we're just going to come down this side, doing the same thing. Let me just shorten that a little bit. Get some late afternoon sun shining in my eyes right now. Okay, so same thing, just make sure they have one little twist to them. Half stitch, pin, half stitch, and now we're bringing these ones in. So remember, this pair here we're not going to twist. We're doing a whole stitch though. And twist both of those ones on the outside. And there we go, we've done 2 zigzags. Alright, now we're going to do spiders coming through the middle. So just take those pins out. We're just going to slide 3, well there's the 2 distinct pairs. We're going to take 3 pairs of bobbins over to this way and pin the back. We're going to have these 2 that are on the right hand side coming off of there. We're going to have these 2 that are on the left hand side there. and then leave everything else pinned back for now. Okay, so now we're going to do our spider. I'm just going to shorten these up a little bit so that they're in the shot, but you can see what I'm doing as well. Okay, so to do a spider, you need spider legs, you need them twisted. So I just separate them like that just so I can count and make sure there's the right amount of twists. So you want to twist them 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. Just jump them over each other. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Okay? And what that does is these are spider legs right here, so it just gives them some thickness and it makes a nice twist. So we're going to come in and do, hang on, let me just put it under something dark so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're going to do, so these are the 2 legs from this side, these are the 2 legs on this side, and they're going to come in and make this spider. Then their legs are going to join up to make this other spider, another one, and another one. So there's going to be 4 spiders all together. Okay? Alright. So we're going to do hole stitches. So we're basically, just like we did at the beginning, we're moving these pair over to this side and this pair over to this side. So we start with the middle pairs. We do a hole stitch. Keep going with this set over through there. And then we take the far left set, go through like that, and like that. Okay, so there's your, it's all crossed over. Now we're going to take a pin, and we're going to pin right in that hole in the middle there. Then pull all your bobbins like this, and just pull them down so it just makes it nice and, oh sorry, focus, 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 nice and smooth around that pin. Okay? Alright. Now we're going to do the same thing. Don't twist them at this point, just let them stay the way they are, but we're doing hole stitches again. And then the far left one is coming over, making its way to the right. Okay, so we've done that. Before you do anything else, do your 3 twists again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Don't forget to do your spider legs like that. Okay, now I just always give them a little tug. It'll eventually work out as you're pulling them over to another spider. They will pull, but I just like to kind of squish them up there myself a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to do the spider that's on the left hand side. So these 2 pairs of bobbins are just going to be pinned out of the way for now. So these legs are already twisted, so we've already done that. We're bringing in the next 2 pairs, so they're those ones there, and you're going to give those 3 twists as well. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And just the same thing, so we start with this second pair that's right here, and we're going to do hole stitch over, and then the far left pair is going to come over like that. You're going to pin right up in there. Make sure you go under all your threads, make sure they're on the other side of the needle. As you pull, just kind of pull everything, straighten it all up, and I seem to have some sort of, oh, it was over here, it was this bobbin. Way over here, I wasn't pulling on him. Alright, so just make sure everything's nice and taut. Okay, good. So we start with the center, the second one. Remember, don't twist your legs yet. You gotta cover your pin. I must say it's very warm sitting here in the sun. Okay, let's just flip. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. And just like I did the last time, just kind of pull your legs up. Now, the legs on this left-hand side are actually going to go into a zigzag, and I'll show you what that's going to look like afterwards. So here is your spider, and it's going into your zigzag. So when you bring in those bobbins, it's just going to happen to be a spider leg that you've brought it in from, but it's the same as when we did it up here. We brought them in to do your zigzag from that section. It's going to be the same thing coming in with spider legs. Okay, so just going to join up the same way. So we're done with this pair, these two pairs over here, and for now we're done with these bottom ones, so just keep them separate and just pin those off to the side. So I've just left those all like that. Now we're going to use this pair, which we've already worked with, so they're already twisted 3 times in this pair, and we're bringing in the ones on this side. So we've got this set and this set, and just make sure you have the right pairs. You can tell they're coming off those needles. So 1, 2, 3, and then this one, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then same as before, the second pair, start doing a whole stitch and work to your right. And then pin, and then just pull on your bobbins a little bit, straighten everything out. Okay, and then cover your pin. It's alright, I'm just realizing you can't see the bobbins. Sorry about that. It's hard to work, look down, and look up at the cameras at the same time. Right? So we've crossed over, so now twist your legs. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're just gonna snug everything up. Like the other side, we're done with this pair here. So now we've got this pair and this pair that are going to come in. These pairs and these pairs are going to come in and make that final spider. So they've already been twisted because we did it for the other spiders. So you just have to do your whole stitches. Oh, sorry, I'm getting all tangled up here. Like that. We're going to pin that final hole. Good. And then whole stitch. And don't forget to twist. Good. So we've just done the 4 spiders in the middle. How fun is that? Now again, they're going to be linked up with the those 2 zigzags coming down the side. So we're going to go over and do the zigzag again, just like before. These ones are going to be in play, they'll just come in at the bottom, so I'm just keeping them over here separated with the pins. We're going to bring it all the way back and start with this pair that's closest to the odd ones. And we're going to do our zigzag again. Okay. Start with that 3rd pair of bobbins. Bring in, these are actually one of the spider legs. Leave those twisted 3 times. Don't undo those. So we're doing half stitch. And we're going to pin right there because we already have a pin in the bottom of our zigzag. The pin is in the bottom of the zigzag, but it's actually the top of this next zigzag. Okay, so we're pinning the right hand, it's coming down to the right. So we're doing that, half stitch. I'm just going to separate those like that for now. Remember, don't twist this one. And then pin on the outside. Bring in another pair. Remember they're spider legs, so don't untwist their legs. We're going to pin, work our way back over, whole stitch for those, and whole stitch with a twist for that one. Whole stitch and a twist. Whole We'll stitch just the one twist. Remember, it's a spider leg, don't untwist them. Pin. Bring in the final pair for the bottom of the zigzag. Remember, after you pin, cover your pin and then throw him out over here. And we're just going to work our way back and work our way down the zigzag. Okay, so we just finished that zigzag coming down the side, and now we're doing the rose ground. Now rose ground, it's looking something like, I just have a little piece of paper here. It's looking like this, and like that. Okay, so you have a bunch of dots. So what you're going to do is you're bringing in 2 pairs to go to this dot, 2 pairs to go to this dot, then you bring both of those into the middle. Okay, then you go down into the middle of that square, then down onto this side, middle of the square, then you do the very middle, and then you do the 2 bottom corners. Okay, so you do top corners, top corner, center, side, side, center, side, side. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, it will once we work. Okay, so you see a bunch of little dots on there in the center there. Okay, so we have a pair of bobbins that are just up above that. Let me just zoom in while I'm showing you. Okay, so we have this pair of bobbins coming off of this pin right here. So it's right up above here. We're going to bring it into this dot here, okay? So this is that top corner, then we're going to do this corner, this center, side, side, center, side, side. Okay? So just make sure it has a twist, just one twist to it. The next pair of bobbins is coming off of this next pin right here. So it's these 2 pins are going to go into this center one. Okay, so you're just going to do a half stitch. So you know what a half stitch looks like at this point. So I just did that, and I'm going to pin in that corner and then cover your pin. Then move those out of the way. Then we're going to grab off of the next pin over here on the right and the next pin underneath that, so these 2 right here. We're going to do this top corner circle right there. So do a half stitch, and then we want to pin, and then we want to do a half stitch again. Okay, now we have to do that top center circle right there. So I'm going to zoom out so you see what I'm doing. So these are the 2 that we used on that side, these are the 2 we used on that side. Use the middle ones now. Do a half stitch, pin that top center circle, and half stitch. Okay, move this one over to the side, move this one over, and this top one. So this top center one that we just used, and the one that's just come off of this pin at the top corner, we're going to do a half stitch of those and pin in that circle that's coming down the side. Okay, and cover your pin. The other two that we have over here, one coming from the top center and one coming from the top right corner. Excuse me. We're going to do a half stitch, pin that side circle coming down. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. And then there. Okay, so we're really just working with these 4 pairs of bobbins. These ones you can't really see. Now these 2 central ones, you're going to do a half stitch. You're going to pin that bottom circle of that square. Let me just zoom back in again. And then for the corners, for the left corner you're going to do use these 2, and the right corner you're going to use these 2. So I'm just going to zoom in so you see where we are. Okay, so the ones that we just did I cover my pin? I'm not totally sure I did. I did not. Hang on. I pinned in the wrong spot too. Hang on. I'm trying to zoom in and zoom out. Got myself confused. Alright, so I got the central ones again. Half stitch, pin, make sure you're up underneath the threads, which I wasn't. Cover your pins. Then we're going to do these ones on the left hand side to do that corner of the square. And then the ones on the right are going to do the other corner. And there you go. Now, what you're going to see is these 2 here have already formed the top right corner of the next square that's going to go right here. Okay? And then these ones have formed the top left corner that's going to go over there. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull down these next 2 pins, and we're going to do the top left corner of this next square. So we're doing this. So we've just completed this one. This one's already done, so now we're going to do this, then the center, side, side, center, side, side. Okay? And then the next one is going to be over here. Do that corner, center, side, side, center, side, side. And then when we get to the bottom, those 2 top corners are going to be done, so you just have to bring in the center. Then go side, side, bottom, side, side. So there's going to be 4 rose grounds like this when we're done. Okay? Alrighty. So we're going to bring in these 2 here and do this corner. So we're just doing half stitch. Okay, and because this other corner is already done, just bring in the pair that's closest to you, do a half stitch, pin that top center circle. Good. Use the 2 that you have on the left to do that side dot that's coming down. Do the 2 on the right for the side dot. Use your middle ones to do the middle bottom dot. And then do the 2 pairs on the left to do the left corner. And the 2 on the right to do your bottom right corner. Like that. Okay, now we're going to move those out of the way temporarily. And now we've got these 2 are from that corner one. Bring in 2 more and do the top right corner. Bring in the 2 center ones to do the top center dot. The 2 left to do the side. The 2 right to do the side. Oh, I didn't go up under the thread. Make sure the threads on the other side of the needle. And then we're going to do the middle ones to do the middle circle. And we'll do these ones to do the left corner. And these two to do the right corner. Alright, now you have 3 rose grounds. Now we're just going to do the very bottom one. So you see that if you move your bobbins over, you already have the top corners done because they're coming off of those 2 rose grounds on either side. So you just bring them together to do the central dot at the top. Do the ones on the left for the side. The ones on the right for the other side. The 2 in the middle to do the bottom middle dot. And then do the corners. And make sure your bobbins have a little twist to them when you're working. And there you go, you have your 4 rose grounds. So it should look like that. And there's your 1, 2, 3, 4. Neat! Okay, so then you just go back into your zigzags, go into your spider, back into zigzags, into rose ground, back into zigzag spider, zigzags rose ground, zigzags spider, zigzags, and then we're going to finish off. Okay, so the pattern just repeats. Remember to slide everything over to one side while you're working, and then bring these ones down, and then just continue with your zigzags, starting with this pair here and bringing the pair in. Remember to, when you're done at the farthest point of your zigzag, pin that guy out, because if not, you won't have enough legs coming in. These are your spiders. They look a little different on the pattern at the top, but that's all it is. That's your first spider there, that first dot, second one, third one, fourth one. There's your rose ground. There are a lot of dots, so it can get confusing, but you just got to find that, basically the little tic-tac-toe in the middle of it. Alright? Okay, so good luck, and I'll be back at the end. Hi guys, I'm back. It's now the next day. I ran out of daylight there last night. I've worked all the way down to the bottom. I did take some of the pins out of the middle of my bookmark. As you're working and you're coming down this part, you can start taking them out of the middle. Just leave them along the edges though. I still have them all the way up to the top and along the edges. So we're just going to finish off this bottom part. It's worked the same way that we did up at the top. Oops. Up here, it's the same kind of thing. We're just doing half stitches along the bottom, and then I'll show you how to bring all your bobbins down to the bottom point and how to finish off your tail. We are almost done. Alright, so just leave your bobbins off to the side, and alright, so you take your 2 center ones. Let me just kind of best of both worlds here. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, so we're just going to do half stitches and pin, and just like at the top, we're going to come down on the sides. Now we're not going to do this very bottom line of dots. It's almost like the way we brought the needles, or brought the bobbins in, we're going to be taking the bobbins out. So finishing them along the bottom there. So just worked down this side, and make sure your threads have a twist as they're coming in. And then just stop at this one here. So you'll still have the 3 sets of bobbins over here, the 2 different kinds, and then that one regular one. Okay, so we're going to stop there, slide everything over again, and then we're going to take the next set of bobbins. Just make sure it's only twisted once coming out of that zigzag. going to happen. I've got alarms set on my watches, or on my watch. Oops. Now just let me know what you thought of this tutorial. Thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. If you liked it, let me know. If you don't feel like putting a comment, just let me know with a thumbs up. Yeah, just, did I go too fast? Did I go too slow? Was there too much detail? Was it a good beginner lesson? Just let me know what you thought. And then maybe we can do another one at some point. It is a very hard video to film, I must say. Harder than like making cards and stuff, I find. I think it's because I'm trying to explain a lot as I'm working. And trying to keep it all straight in my head so I'm not telling you the wrong things. And now the last pair. Okay, so now to finish this off, just move all these ones that are on the right hand side, move those all the way over for now. And then we're going to come down this side. So the goal is to eventually have all the bobbins brought down to this bottom hole here. So we've just pinned this one here. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a pair from here. We're going to go up through these 3 pairs of bobbins and then bring it down through the rest of these this way, okay? So we're just doing half stitch. Now don't do any extra twists through here because it just gives a bunch of bulk through here, which you don't want. So we're just going to go, still do whole stitches, just don't do extra twists. And then once you get this pair here over to the end, just pin, just like we were doing before. Make sure you're kind of pulling your bobbins down. And then we're going to go through there, and this pair is going to come all the way down through the rest of the bobbins now. Doing whole stitches. So you can see those threads have come all the way down through to here. And we're just going to place him just kind of, I'll just put the pins up here so you can see, just kind of by himself. Okay, so then we're going to take this next pair, so you still have 3 pairs over here. We're going to take this next pair coming out of here. We're going to do the same thing, just don't twist them, bring them through. We're doing whole stitches all the way through. Pin. Give everything a nice little tug. Okay, and then you're going to work your way back through and keep going through all the bobbins. And now he's done to the end, so bring him in with this other pair. Okay, now do the next set coming off those pins there. And then pin in the next hole coming down. Just try and pull everything so it stays nice and flat. And then whole stitches. And now he's done. Okay, and then this pair here. Make sure your pins don't come out. Okay, cover your pin, and then bring him down. Okay, so everything is down the bottom. We still have these 3 pairs off to the side. We'll swivel these ones over until we bring the rest down. So now it's okay if they're done as a group now, because it's not going to matter at this point anymore because they're all down at the bottom. Okay, so now we're going to do the same over on this side. Now maybe you have other techniques for finishing off and bringing them down to the side. This is the way I remember. I hope my lace teacher's not watching, because perhaps I'm making a major mistake. But it brought them down, so I think I'm pretty close. Alright, so again we're going to bring this pair off of that needle. Hole stitches through here. And then pin. And like I said, in the book she braids her tails at the end. My lace teacher and I don't do that. Maybe you like that finish, so you can do that. And we're just going to hole stitch all the way through these, all the way down. And then this next pair come through. Pin. And pin those out of the way. Okay, next pair coming off of that pin there. So send to the right. Move it off to the side, and then this pair is going through. Pin, and now you should just be left with one more hole at the very bottom. And there you go. Alright, so now what we're going to do is bring all those bobbins to this side. And you've got all these bobbins over on this side. And we're going to finish off, we're going to do our tail. Okay. So lengthen your outside bobbins. Now for me they were the ones with the blue beads on them. Alright. So now what we're going to do is we got to go around these groups of bobbins. So you can leave the pin there if you want. Now this one is going to go under and over. And this one, I'm going to start like this and go over and under. Okay. And then you take those bobbins and you just give them a twist like that. Okay, I'm going to do that again just in case you missed it, because I have to get my teacher to explain this to me every time, and even to show this to you guys right now I had to look back at a video. So I've got these bobbin threads are kind of coming over the thing, and these ones are sort of under that group of bobbins. Okay, so just lengthen them, not to a crazy point, but just so you can, here I'll just show you how long mine are. They're just to there. Okay, alright, so take this pair of bobbins and you're going to put them under that group of bobbins and over to the middle, and you're going to take this pair and go over the whole group of bobbins and then back under. Okay, then you're going to take them, sorry my pillow keeps slipping, take them like this and you're just going to twist them. Okay, and then just kind of grab the threads and sort of move those threads right up to the top where the two sections come together. And in that, just hold them kind of down with your nail, put a pin in that final hole just so it kind of holds it for you there for a minute. Okay? Now, we're going to do that again. We're going to go over and under, and this one's going to go under and over. Okay, so you've got one side coming up underneath, and this one's going to come up over, and then you're going to take these and you're going to twist them. Okay, I'll show you what the twist kind of looks like. Whoop, extreme close up. Okay, so it's just like that. And you're going to, again, snug right up into there. Now you can sort of hold it with your finger, go over, lift those bobbins, whoop, and you will get tangled, most likely, like that. And then do the other side. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Okay, so then these ones, those ones went over, these ones, no, they went over and under. These ones are going to go under and over. Okay, and when you do that, then just give these a twist. And we're going to do this probably about four or five times total. So over and under and under and over. Oh, my lace teacher would be so proud of me. I'm finally doing this right. I think. And just give those a twist. And again, cinch that up. And it almost looks like a little braid coming through there. So over and under. It's kind of like you need an extra pair of hands when you're doing this. And then we're going to go under and over. And we'll give them a twist. And it's really kind of how long you want that little knot to be. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to go over and under and under and over. I'm just going to move that pin out of the way. And then give them a little twist. And then you're good. Like that. Pull it nice and snug. Do not break your threads. This is the final point here. You do not want to break your threads at this point. Okay, now what you can do is right there, put a little pin, just nice and snug there. You're going to take these last two bobbins. Now you can just adjust them if you need to. Mine are kind of, they're getting really loose and falling apart on me now. So, I just gotta, this one came undone a little bit. So now, take your bobbins and you're gonna do just a knot, like as if you're tying your shoes. Hang on, let me just shorten them a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And we are almost done. My chair is squeaking like crazy. Okay. So all you're gonna do is tie these like as if you're tying a knot to tie your shoes. Just watch out for your beads if you have bobbins with beads. You're just going to do this right up to the needle and do that about 3 times because this is your final knot. This is what's holding everything together. 2, I'm going to do one more. Just as if you're starting to tie your shoes. Like that. Nice and tight. And you did it! Now just loosen all your bobbins. You can just start pulling them off if you want. Yay! And look, we had that much left. I did 2.5 yards on my bobbins. It was just enough. The other day I did 3.5 and I had way too much left over. So that was a good length. two and a half yards. So you can just pull it down. You can just loosen them, or you can pull the strings, pull the bobbins right off if you want, which is what I'm doing. I actually filmed this the other day, I don't know if I mentioned that, and the video was just crazy long, so I hope this one wasn't too long for you. But I really enjoy bobbin lace. I'm actually thinking about ordering some more bobbins. You can get just the bobbins from Snow Goose. That's where I ordered mine, snowgoose.com. There's also laces. .com, but I had a great experience with Snow Goose. I ordered the kit. My pillow is the 20-inch pillow, and I just did the whole kit. Like I said, the thread, I don't know if I mentioned it, the thread I found that they give you is way too thick, so you'll want to buy from somewhere else, or just order some thinner thread, but the stuff that comes with the kit is just really thick. My lace teacher always orders hers from Nordic Needle. They're in Fargo, North Dakota. Snow Goose is escaping me where they're located right now. They are in the States. They're out west. Great delivery. I had mine delivered here to Bermuda, so if they will deliver to Bermuda, they will surely deliver to you wherever you are. I like the pillow. I think if I was going to do it again, I've been looking at the website today actually, and you can get a set of 12 of these bobbins. Now they say fancy or plain, and I believe this is what they mean. It's either fancy like that or plain, and they give you a mixture. And you get 12 pairs for $22. But then with the pillow, with the kit, you get 24 pairs. So I'm actually wondering about getting a whole other kit, because you get more pins, you get a second pricker, you get the little instruction booklet, which I don't find easy to follow. But you do get the big pillow, and I think I would again buy a 20-inch pillow. I like this size. And then you get 24 bobbins. So I think that's how I would do it, and just buy a whole new kit again. And then if I have a project on one pillow and I want to work on something else, I have the second pillow. That's what my lace teacher does. She has one prepped and ready to go, and then she's working on another one, so that when she finishes, she has all her bobbins wound and is ready to start the next project. So here we go, and just get your scissors. Just make your tail as long as you want. Now here's my other one that I made before, so I'd like to have the tail pretty much the same length. So I'm just going to trim it there. And we're done! We did it! So just leave it on your pillow for the next day, and just let the threads just sort of relax a little bit. Where's my other one? I had my green one here somewhere. He's gone. He must be in a book somewhere. I have no idea. No idea where I put him. Oh, here he is. I'll show you some other threads that I have as well. Let me just show you another kind that I use. Okay, I have some threads that I purchased, and some that my lace teacher gave me, so I'll just show you those. I'll just cover this up. These are wildflowers. Now my lace teacher was getting rid of some, and I had bought some of these before, and very nice colors. So I had only bought one skein of each when I ordered them at one point, and she tends to buy 2 or 3 skeins of each color. So she had these ones left over. She's starting to go through her thread stash and get rid of some things. So I went to our Stitch and Share group yesterday, and she had these on the table. She was getting rid of them. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I was very excited to get those. Now those are Wildflowers by Karen, and this is African Sunset. These guys are in the Karen collection, Stratford, Connecticut. So this is African Sunset. This color, she always uses variegated colors with hers. This is Pale Lilac. And this is, oh, I'll never be able to say that. There you go. That. I don't know how to say it. And then this one here is Williamsburg. those colors there. It's like pinks and blues. And then this color here, which is very nice, it's called Blue Spruce. Okay, and then these are the ones that I ordered from, let me see my order here. These are Nordic Needle. No, I don't have my receipt there. But these are the Leahs. Now, I don't believe you can get the Leahs anymore. And this is color 215, which I thought was very pretty. And then this one here, 252. They have actual names to them. I'll have to look it up on my iPad. And I can put it down below in the description box. And this is 226. I don't know if there's an actual name to them. I think there is. It's kind of like a pinks and grays actually. And then this is 216. It's like a light blue and a gray and almost a white in it. And then this one here, which is 227, which I thought was really pretty. It's like a green, it's like deep greens and grays. So there you go. And like I said, the color I've been using here, it's just the DMC. Here's some other colors that I had from the Wildflowers. And like I said, I had bought these before and I only bought single skeins. So that's Buttercup. And this one was Jade. That was really pretty. I liked that one. So, and I think I was able to make like one bookmark with each of the, I don't even know if I could make a bookmark. I must have. I think I made small ones. Let me show you the small ones I made with that. These are my projects here. I'll show you the bookmarks I've done. This is one of the little mats. I'd love to do another one of those. I showed that on one of my other videos. And then these were little mini mats. I like those. I don't like them done in a variegated. I like them done in a solid. That was like a variegated blue, but it just looks confusing. This was my very first bookmark. Check it out. Where's my watch? It's now buried under thread. That was my very first bookmark. I was so proud of myself. And then I did a couple more of those. I think these were from just samples I did in videos to show you. This was the little ones I made from those threads. This one is spiders, just different spiders. And then this one was all rose ground that you've just learned how to do. That was another spider one done in the brown. And that's in the purple. And then I did these little ones, another rose ground. This is one that we just did. It's more of a variegated. I did a little Christmassy red and green. I did this tiny little one. This one's with very fine threads that I got from my lace teacher. And then I did these bigger ones. Did a little Christmassy red and green going on there. That's all little mini spiders all the way down through. And then this was my hardest one. This one I ran a gimp thread through the middle of it in the blue. And that I was ready to give up lace. It's just a sampler. But yeah, that one, that was tricky. It turned out really nice. And then I ended up doing it again in a green. I was crazy enough to attempt it again, and this time I didn't do a gimp thread through it. So those are the projects I've done with bobbin lace since I've started. So thanks so much for watching, and good luck with yours. And I'll be back with some more videos soon. Alright, take care guys. See ya.